Welcome. Have you ever really stopped to think about one of the biggest paradoxes in spirituality? How can a being who's described as eternal, unborn, and completely unchanging appear in our world, a world defined by time and change? Well, today, we're diving deep into that very mystery, right from the Bhagavad Gita, the divine appearance of Lord Krishna himself. This is the question that really gets to the heart of it, isn't it? It's the same puzzle that Arjuna was facing on the battlefield. If God is truly eternal, then how can he be born? It seems like a contradiction. But lucky for us, Lord Krishna is about to lay out the answer, not just for Arjuna, but for all of us.
So, to untangle this, we first need to get a handle on the how. See, the Lord's appearance isn't a birth like you or I experience it. We're kind of pushed into it by the laws of nature and karma. His is something else entirely. It's a completely transcendental act, something that happens beyond our material reality.
And he explains this in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 6. Ajobi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swam adishthaya sambhavami atma mayaya.
Now, in that verse, there's a really crucial term, Atma Mayaya. This means Krishna appears by his own internal energy, completely by his own sweet will. It's not a forced event. Unlike us, whose bodies are subject to karma, his form is eternal. It never gets old, never deteriorates. Even when he appears to be walking among us, he is always the Supreme Lord.
And this contrast really says it all. Our bodies, they're temporary. They change, they decay, and we forget everything from our past lives. But the Lord, he appears in his original spiritual body, which is totally unchanging. He remembers the past, present, and future, and is never, ever controlled by material nature. It's kind of like the sun. It's always there, even if, from our limited perspective, it seems to rise and set.
Okay, so now that we have a better idea of how the Lord appears, the next big question pops up. Why? What's the mission? What's the purpose that's so important it calls him to enter this material world?
Well, verse 4.7 gives us that cosmic reason. Yada yada hidharmasya glanir bharata. Abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam surjamyaham.
So the reason is just massive. The Lord descends when the very balance of the universe is at risk. When Dharma, that divine path of righteousness and cosmic order, starts to fade, and adharma, or irreligion, starts to take over, he appears to set things right. And notice the word he uses, srijami. It's so important. It doesn't mean I am created. It means I manifest myself. He's always existing. He just makes himself visible.
But it's not just about adjusting some cosmic scale. The very next verse drills down to a much more intimate, a much more personal reason for his appearance, and this one really focuses on his relationship with his followers. Verse 4.8 lays it out perfectly. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya, sambhavami yuge yuge. And here it is, his mission, in 3 crystal clear steps. He comes to protect the sadhus, the devout and pious souls who are so often troubled by the wicked. Then he comes to annihilate the miscreants. And finally, he comes to reestablish the true principles of religion. What's so beautiful is that the commentaries often explain his primary driver, his main motivation, is simply to relieve the distress of his beloved devotees. Now, listen closely, because this is where it all gets incredibly powerful and personal for every single one of us. Understanding the how and why of the Lord's appearance isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. Krishna says this very knowledge is the actual key to our own freedom. He makes this absolutely incredible promise in verse 4.9. Janma karma chame divyam, evam yo veti tatvata, tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. And there it is. That's the payoff. Anyone who truly understands, in truth, the transcendental nature of his appearance and his activities is freed from the endless cycle of birth and death. They don't have to take on another material body. Instead, they go directly to his eternal abode. That's liberation, right there, offered to us simply by knowing this divine truth. So, the natural question is, how do we get to that level of understanding? How do we make this knowledge real for us? Well, the final verse we're looking at today describes the exact state of consciousness of those who have walked this path and reached that ultimate goal. This is verse 4.10. Vitaraga bhaya krodha, manmaya mam upashrita, bahavo janatapasa puta madbhavam agata.
And this isn't some impossible dream. The verse confirms that many people have actually achieved this. By purifying themselves, by letting go of attachment, fear, and anger, by becoming completely absorbed in Him and taking full refuge in Him, they attain the greatest prize of all, Mad Bhavam, which is pure transcendental love for God. This is what's presented as the absolute peak of all existence.
And that really brings us to a final thought for reflection. This isn't just ancient philosophy, it's a living, breathing truth. If simply understanding the divine nature of God's appearance can literally set us free, how does that change things for us right here, right now? How does that shift our daily actions, our priorities, our entire view of the world?
Thank you so much for joining us for this exploration. We truly hope that diving into this profound wisdom from the Gita has brought you some clarity and maybe a spark of inspiration.
You know, here at Gyan Kosh, we're a multilingual channel, and our whole mission is to share this kind of spiritual wisdom. We have content in English, Hindi, Marathi, Tamil, Gujarati, and Bengali, and we're always working on adding more major languages. Our goal is simple: to bring you the timeless treasures of Sanatan Dharma in a way that's clear, meaningful, and easy to connect with.
On our channel, you'll find daily videos covering a wide range of sacred texts and stories, from the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita to the Mahabharata, Lalita Sahasranamam, and Devathen Kural. We also explore the lives of the great saints of Maharashtra and Bengal and the divine story of Adi Sankara, and it's all available in multiple languages.
So, if you find what we do valuable, we'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe to Gyan Kosh. That way, you'll get notified about all our daily videos. And of course, please don't forget to like, share, and help spread this divine knowledge with your family, your friends, and your community.
Let's work together to keep the beautiful light of Sanatan Dharma shining bright. Thank you again for being here with us today.